years ago, I was involved with an old friend talking about the situation of Jewish life in America today. His name is Larry Kushner, and he said in this conversation that Jewish life is about two cycles, the year cycle and the life cycle. The year cycle, he said, is in very deep trouble among American Jews outside the Orthodox community. Try to get a minyan in shul for Shavuot. Who knows what Shmini Atzeret even is and whether they'll show up. But those same Jews who don't show up for the life cycle, for the year cycle at all, want Jewish naming for their baby daughters now, along with the bris still for their sons. Even if they're marrying non-Jews, they want a rabbi to perform the wedding. Certainly, b'nai mitzvah have only grown in American Jewish culture. Around death and mourning, needless to say, everybody wants to be Jewish. So why is the year cycle so weak and the life cycle so strong? And then I said to him, well, what about Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur? How come synagogues fill up those 3 days? And then I said, of course, because it isn't about the year cycle. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur is not about year cycle, it's about life cycle. It's a way of saying, hey, here I am alive for another year. I don't know why, I don't know if I deserved it. Thank you, goodbye, see you next year. And that seems to be how it works. This year, we're more conscious of mortality than we ever have been before. We live with a sense that our mortality is threatened, our existence is threatened. All of us live in, you might say, rooms in the great castle of life. Each of us has a room in the castle. And the elephant in each of those rooms, of course, is the elephant called mortality, something we don't like to think about. We're all here temporarily, and we know that. I'm at the far end of that stretch, and I know it better than I used to know it when I was younger. So here we are before Rosh Hashanah, about to say Unatana Tokef. Unatana Tokef is precisely about morality, forcing us to face morality. Not all of us will be here a year from now. The shepherd, even the loving shepherd, says the poem, has to cull his flock. That's what he does. And that doesn't mean he doesn't care for them, but the flock is culled every year. That's part of what it means to be a shepherd. In saying this, we deny somehow, or we defy somehow, that mortality means indifference. That mortality means nobody cares. This life we have, this limited life we have, can somehow still be a meaningful one, even in the face of mortality. The fact that each of us existed at all, that we were in this world for as many years as we have been, that's a great gift. The fact that that gift will end someday is something we come to terms with, something we live with. And that may be the loving culling of the flock. So, does it make any difference? Teshuvah, tefillah, and tzedakah, the return to God, the prayer, the good deeds we do, does it make any difference? The prayer ends by saying, Teshuvah, tefillah, tzedakah, those three ma'avirin et roa hagezerah. They cause to pass away the evil within the decree. Roa hagezerah, not hagezerah hara'ah. They don't change the decree. Yes, many of us will be here next year, some of us won't. The flock will be culled inevitably. But there's no roa in that. There's no evil in that. The fact that we have done meaningful and good things with our lives makes the whole process worthwhile, even in the face of morality, even in the course of this very difficult year. Shana tova u'metuka to everyone. Tichle shana v'killoteha. May the curses of this year pass away and blessings come our way next year.
Psalm 27, verses 13 and 14. Lulei hamanti lirot v'tuv Adonai be'eretz chaim. Kaveh el Adonai chazak ve'ametz libecha v'kaveh el Adonai. Lulei hamanti lirot v'tuv Adonai be'eretz אומץ ליבך וכך